What's behind Volodymyr Zelensky's unexpected visit to Greece? Why is this trip seen as a key moment in Ukraine's ongoing efforts to secure new defense capabilities? According to reports from Greek media, President Zelensky traveled to Athens to discuss the possibility of acquiring Patriot air defense systems and Mirage 2005 fighter jets. This move has drawn attention from political observers and military analysts across Europe, and it raises several important questions. Is this visit a sign of growing cooperation between Kyiv and Athens? Or does it reflect deeper challenges Ukraine is facing in maintaining its current defense capacity? And perhaps most importantly, what are the broader implications for Europe and NATO's approach to regional security? Let's take a closer look at what experts are saying and what this development could mean for the months ahead. British military analyst Alexander Mercouris, speaking on his YouTube channel, suggested that President Zelensky's visit to Greece was primarily aimed at securing additional Patriot missiles. Greek outlet ProNews.gr reported earlier this week that the Ukrainian leader was planning an urgent visit to Athens to meet with Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis. According to these reports, Zelensky was expected to request both Patriot missile batteries and French Mirage 2005 MQ-2 aircraft for Ukraine's air defense. Mercouris noted that recent missile strikes had likely reduced Ukraine's remaining stock of Patriot interceptors, creating an urgent need for new supplies. In his words, Kyiv's challenge now is to maintain an effective air defense shield amid growing pressure on logistics and resources. He described the current situation as a race against time, emphasizing that replenishing such complex systems is both costly and technically demanding. At the same time, he questioned whether continuously providing more systems would lead to lasting results, drawing a symbolic comparison to trying to inflate a balloon with a leak. While some might see that analogy as oversimplified, it highlights a real concern shared by many analysts that Ukraine's defense sustainability depends not only on new equipment but also on long-term support and infrastructure. The Greek government has not yet confirmed whether it plans to provide Patriot systems or Mirage aircraft to Ukraine. Athens has traditionally been cautious about large-scale arms transfers, balancing its commitments within NATO with domestic and regional considerations, including its own defense priorities in the Eastern Mediterranean. Meanwhile, in Ukraine, the search for new defense partnerships continues. Officials in Kyiv see European collaboration as essential for maintaining protection against aerial threats and for modernizing Ukraine's military technology. At the same time, some experts warn that expanding military cooperation places additional pressure on European industries already stretched by high demand and limited production capacities. In Russia, officials have repeatedly stated that continued foreign military assistance to Ukraine complicates efforts toward diplomatic resolution. Moscow argues that increased supplies only extend the conflict's duration and hinder meaningful negotiations. Western governments, however, maintain that defensive assistance remains necessary to ensure Ukraine's sovereignty and stability. From a strategic standpoint, Zelensky's trip to Greece could be viewed as part of a broader effort to diversify Ukraine's defense partnerships. If successful, such cooperation would not only strengthen bilateral ties between Kyiv and Athens, but also signal a wider European readiness to play a more active role in security, matters traditionally dominated by the United States. However, analysts point out that both the Patriot and Mirage systems require extensive training, logistical coordination, and maintenance, meaning that even if a deal is reached, it could take months or even years before the systems are fully operational in Ukraine. For Greece, agreeing to such a transfer would also be a significant political and technical step, potentially reshaping its role within Europe's collective security landscape. Ultimately, Zelensky's visit is less about a single request and more about sustaining momentum, showing both partners and observers that Kyiv remains proactive and determined to secure long-term defense commitments. Whether or not Greece decides to move forward, this meeting highlights a key question for Europe's future. How can nations balance their national interests with shared responsibility for regional stability?